Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It's great to address my friends at the Imam Ghazali convocation at the Academy, where I was asked to give a talk. So here I am from across the seas, many hundreds of miles away, and talking about faith. Faith or Shahada is the first pillar of Islam. And in the Muslim religion, as in other religions, the importance of faith is paramount to our way of thinking, to our existence on earth. Because as human beings, we do go through trials and tribulations and all, but the faith that we have, the faith in the Almighty, the faith that somebody would be helping us, the faith in ourselves, the faith in our friends, that's very important. Above all, faith has to grow from within. And God does not task anyone beyond their endurance. So to me, that is faith. And mainly in faith, we have to know that whatever happens, it happens for a cause. So we have to be prepared for it. Well, the next thing that comes up is tolerance. And tolerance is, I think, the dignity to deal with others, regardless of their faith, regardless of their race, regardless of their ethnic background, is very important. Because when we also tolerate, we acquire more and more knowledge of the other side. It's extremely important for us to know that tolerance is not just acceptance of others by virtue of their presence. No, by showing an interest in them, by trying to be at peace within ourselves and others. We may not agree with them, but at least we should have the capacity and the goodwill to accept what they are and what they do without being judgmental. It's very important because tolerance also helps a lot in keeping away conflicts, in getting rid of prejudices. And we have to do that by starting at home, by teaching our children. You cannot teach tolerance in schools. You have to teach tolerance at home. And this is the key factor that will help us in preserving faith in ourselves, because it also touches with faith. And also at the same time, the tolerance will help build communities across, not only in our countries, but across the globe, that will be setting on a peaceful course in a world full of wars, beset by natural calamities. We all have to get together to focus on joint ventures, on points of convergence rather than divergence. And this is where the issue of tolerance is paramount and it becomes extremely important for our survival. And I would like to add that tolerance also is based on a multitude of things: race, religion, ethnic background, and above all, political beliefs, because there are so many conflicts that have erupted in the world because of political dissension within the countries and even outside. And as somebody said, I may not agree with you, but I'll defend to the death your right to say it. So that's very key and instrumental in seeing to it that the whole package of tolerance helps us to grow into more mature societies. The world is pluralistic. In the Quran it says, وَجَعَلْنَاكُمْ شُعُوبَ وَقَبَائِلَ. We have made you nations and tribes so that you may get to know each other. The best among you is the one who's most pious. The Quran did not mention one religion, he mentioned the people of the faith. So it's extremely important that pluralism should be the key word, the buzzword. It's not just the idea that we should be pluralistic in terms of cosmetics, meeting people here and there. No, acceptance, tolerance then become part of pluralism. The world is different. People have different ideas, different beliefs, different knowledge, thoughts. We should try our best to see to it that we deal with them. In pluralism, communication is extremely important. So we should communicate and see to it and encourage people of other faiths and all to come and have a dialogue. The dialogue is the key essence of our survival. So all these three things, faith, tolerance, and pluralism, are words that we should not only just check up and smile and talk about, but we should practice. I read somewhere when General Eisenhower, who was the supreme commander of the Allied forces in the Second World War, and he had become the President of the United States from 1952 to 1960, was once asked whether he hates Germans. And he said, "I do not hate in plurals." That means I do not hate everyone. So this is a great statement. We should understand that in different societies, whether we dislike or not, there are people we can identify with. So let us now focus on these things. I also would like to encourage our friends who are listening to this, Muslims or who are non-Muslims, that in the final analysis, they all go and belong to one race, the human race. We either work together, we either cooperate, or we perish. There is no second chance coming in. Morality is very subjective. 10,000 years ago, you could kill a man for a piece of meat or try to do something to harm him because you didn't like him or he belonged to a certain different tribe. But over the years, there's been an evolution. Religions have come in. Most religions that have come in the past 2,000 years have focused on peace, survival of the human race through cooperation. So it's very important that none of us take the high moral ground. None of us try to be subjective in the sense that we are better than others. It's very important. Try to see, and I always say, focus on points of convergence rather than divergence. Nobody is better than the other. And as I quoted in the Quran, وَجَعَلْنَاكُمْ شُعُوبَ وَقَبَائِلَ, we have made you nations and tribes so that you get to know each other, to learn from each other. And by learning from each other, the essence of humanity comes more and more in the forefront. So it's important to do that. And knowing each other makes people more knowledgeable. So whatever prejudices that you have, or you have acquired through families and friends who may not be as pluralistic as you might have thought, it's important for you to understand that our way and our outreach can do wonders. And I've got many examples in my personal life where by reaching out to people, whether they were of different religions or different castes or different groups, by reaching out, I found there was a common ground. There was a common platform. And when we stood on that platform, we realized that both of us were safe. And in a society like India, which is composed of so many different composites, I truly believe that the essence of faith, tolerance, and pluralism, if made into one chemical factor, would really be a great boon. Thank you.